Okay. I think I got the unmute fix this time. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I am full screen today. So yeah, it's been a fun day. Moving around equipment, clearing out rooms, prepping for a move. Oh, I gotta get out of this apartment into a house, even if it's temporary, but still. So next weekend may do a short stream. Not sure quite yet. But then the 18th, I will not be here because I'll actually be unloading, moving, and doing everything that weekend. So yeah, it's going to be fun and completely exhausting. So we'll skip that one, but then be back at the new space, ready to go on the 25th. So yeah, kind of the admin notes for now. But yeah, this I've been printing this for the last couple. So it's a 30 by 30R version of extrusion. So it's got that nice, 30-30 profile. But yeah, I got the rounded outside edge. It's for the Anet Evolution hypercubed conversion. Opted for 30-30 for the outer corners, but everything else is going to be 20 by 20. But yeah, this was actually printed right here on the K280. Pretty much right like that. Been doing them single at a time. Takes about, well, the last one was 19 hours, 57 minutes. The one before that, or the two before that, was about 20 hours, 10 minutes or so. What I had been doing, just because the frame is still not fully braced, so I'm getting a little bit, I don't know if the camera can see, I'm getting a little bit of wobble, but it's barely, I mean, you can see the color difference, but I mean, really, it's only off like half a millimeter, if even that. So for the most part, it's fairly smooth. It's within tolerance for me, especially for the kids printer. And I mean, this thing is rock solid. It barely flexes at only 25% honeycomb infill. So I was quite proud of that. So I've got 3 of them. Gonna start the last one for this printer, and then work on some of the other pieces to print out, and maybe some quick fun prints or whatever on the magical E10. Yeah. On a different side admin note, I did get that $4 BMG clone. It finally arrived. And it, come on, there we go. I mean, it looks pretty decent. It does have a plastic gear, but I don't know how well it's going to show up. But I mean, it did get 2 Bondtech gears in there. The alignment is not super great, because if I tighten this up much more than just like barely even, then it starts, I think there's an alignment issue anyway. But again, it was only $4, so that doesn't surprise me. I mean, that would have been awesome if it worked like first shot with no issues whatsoever. I mean, that would be an outstanding deal, but you know, $4, I can't complain too much. Yeah, I don't know if you can, like, if this is, all right, twist. All right, so that's fully unlocked. If I go in and twist, see right now it's moving smooth, no sound. One full turn, and I can already feel it going clack, 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 clack. So I don't know if it's a missed gear alignment or if that's just normal for these Bondtech or for this style extruder, like without filament in between, like that it just kind of does that. But this extruder, unfortunately, no, they don't have it anymore. Pretty much the week after I ordered it, which was almost 2 months ago, they pulled it and then reissued it for almost 4 times the price. So it's about $20 now. So I don't know if that link, but I'll see if I can find one. This was actually I had to search for the Amazon UK side to even get this to work. I was kind of amazed that I even could order it to begin with, because it doesn't show up on the US side. It was only showing up on the UK side. But it said they didn't have a problem for shipping this thing to me overseas for only like a grand total of $5. It was like 3 something for this Bondtech thing, Bondtech clone, and shipping. So grand total $5. I mean, I can't beat it. The only thing I gotta find is the toothed motor gear, because it looks like they didn't include that. So I guess, you know, I probably got my I only got my $5 worth. I don't know if it got much better than that, but you know, hey. Let's see. Got the yeah. Let's see that link, Scott. See if that's a. So yeah, so I'm gonna be moving out of this apartment, moving over to family's place. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. But it gets me out of here. I get to save a lot of money by not really paying any rent. So I can save up to, you know, pay off all the bills, do all that wonderful jazz, and then start saving up as quick as I can to actually like get my own house. So that'll be nice. Yeah, Scott, that link is jumping me over. Oh, okay, there we go. I had to click on another link to make it go show me all the offers from the multiple retailers, which only has one now. So yeah, about $20. That's not bad. Arrives between May 24th and June 17th. Jeez. But for a clone, I mean, okay. It is what it is. I don't think I stopped this video. There we go. Man, why does YouTube and why does everybody want to change like their layouts of stuff? So I guess if you guys noticed, maybe the post I was trying to do from the embedded YouTube to Facebook link is showing like last week or the week before. So yeah, I didn't do it last week. So yeah, it's showing my last stream, so the 20th, and it won't update the like the description information, which is like just the dumbest thing. I don't know. Now they got this new YouTube live streaming management, but it's not like giving me all the right info to begin with. I don't know. They always gotta change stuff. Well, that's cool. So this is giving me, oh, new stats. Okay, I like this version of the control room. This is pretty cool. I usually just use Streamlabs, so I'm not used to it. But anyway. All right, let's get this print going real quick. Yes, new window. Get that printer up and going since I've already got the G-code saved. And I guess just for giggles, I did export, though I haven't uploaded my this 3030R, which I couldn't find. I had to custom make it. But nicely enough, Mitsumi ended up having the DXF file. So I just imported, yes, Steven, the Lightspeed, I am. So yeah, I just imported that into Fusion, and then I deleted out like one whole corner, and then did an arc tool from the closest known point to the end all the way to the other one, and it made that nice curved profile piece right there. Come on, focus. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so that was custom. Kinda. I mean, I've got my Tronxy kind of half taken apart. Well, it's not half taken apart. The whole hot end assembly, I'm trying to build a custom one because the mixing heat block doesn't fit in their factory stuff, and it doesn't fit in the other one. And then I tried to do the Pet Fang adapter, and I like it, but I mean, I jacked this one up when I was trying to, like, so yeah, I was trying to do my own. But these parts are for the kids' printed printer. So we're doing we're kind of following in Walter's footsteps. But we're doing the Anet Hypercube, the Anet Evolution. So I'm getting all that stuff printed out. I appreciate it, Wiley. But yeah, right now I'm loving my two Deltas. They obviously are different in size, since the other one's not even all the way in camera. Here, let me pan up there. So yeah, it's quite a bit bigger. But they get a lot better quality for me. Plus, without having a moving bed is really nice. Though the tall one, the K280, because it's so tall and they only use 2020 extrusions, it has a lot of like vibrational wobble when it gets higher. But I've got this. I've got one here, and then I'm trying to attach the other one. I just don't have the right screws now, apparently. There we go. But it's a little adapter, just with the hole straight through it, but it's got the alignment tabs for the extrusion. So basically, the plan is to put 6 on, right? No, 9 total. Sorry, 3 on each tower, and then take some panel board, and then custom kind of use that, so it kind of almost effectively becomes a case, or not a case, an enclosure, but also providing frame stability from 2 or 6 points on each side that are going to be, you know, screwed into these blocks that already have the side mount screw, and the angle makes it flush all the way across, or flat all the way across. So that'll help with the torsional you know, forces, because it's got the big panel on it. To do a full panel on the back two sides, and then this front, I'm only going to use like the middle ones to the top and close that part off, and then that way the whole bottom print area, so you can pull a part out, is unobstructed. I don't need it to be like sealed, for the simple fact of it's not going to be printing anything. Like, I don't like to do ABS, so I don't really need superheated, and I barely do PETG at this point on the Delta. I use the Tronxy more for the PETG anyway. So it's not like I really need it sealed enclosure, so I'm just getting it's more of a framing enclosure to get it. Yeah, they definitely, like, see, on the Linear Plus from Anycubic, the 2020 extrusion is fine because you've also got the linear rail, like, help giving it that much more stability. But this, just a straight 2020 all the way up, I mean, that was dumb. I mean, they could have at least done, like, on the foot bracket right here, that's, you know, even with the bed, on that adapter right above it, they could have done, what, so that would have been a 2060, so that you have the center pole, and then through this locking piece, just for, you know, the 2 feet, or the, I don't even know the name of the part offhand, but since these two pieces are separate pieces versus the console is one big piece, but you could have still made that whole, you know, a 2020 and only had it just enough to offset for that, and then go to a 2060 and then go all the way up on all three, and then, you know, bring it back down to just a single 2020 again. I think that would have been okay, and it would have stopped a lot of the torsional forces. But they didn't. So these are costing a grand total of 9 of these. Is going to be probably about, what? Not even a quarter roll of filament. It's like, I think last I checked it, hold on, I can actually just tell you. I was going to say, I know they're under 100 grams each, but I would say they're probably closer to like maybe 40 or 50 grams each. So you figure 9 of those, we'll say 50 grams just for giggles. So 450 grams ish to print out all 9 of these. That panel board that I got from Home Depot, is the one sheet. Yeah, you need 2 sheets to cover the area, but that only cost like $3 or $4 a sheet. So I mean, you're talking a total investment probably less than 50 bucks, versus like every other solution that I've seen is 120 plus. One guy was trying to do just frame supports with a 1/2-inch threaded rod from Home Depot, but like each one is about 20 bucks for the size that he wanted, plus the printed parts that you're doing. So that's, you know, going to add in just like mine would. But I mean, just his physical parts alone, just the threaded rod, was like almost $90 by itself, at like the bare minimum, and that was on sale. So I don't know. A printed Delta, that would be pretty cool, Steven. Michael, welcome. Hello. Sorry, I kind of rambled and didn't see you pop up there. What was I looking for? Oh, there we go. Sorry. After moving, clearing 2 full rooms worth of house goodies to the garage to make room so I can move in. This is a lot of work. My back is a little stiff. All right, come on. New printer, custom job. Come on. I don't know why my internet is going so slow today. Where did I put it? There it is. 2020. Oh, I said we were going to get this thing printing, and I'm like just rambling and not letting it heat up. So, all right, so that's heating up. Oh, I need to change that to this one. No. Okay. I don't know why. Man, why is my computer doing this tonight? I swear, running live streams anymore is just brutal. I don't know what my computer is doing. All right, well, I'll keep trying to do that while this is heating, but, I mean, this is a little ridiculous. Computer's going on strike right when you need them. So, yeah, then the next batch, it looks like I've got to do... Where did I save it? All right, so the frame is... 4 of the 500 millimeter. I did the 30R corner extrusion, so I still need to print 4 more 420 millimeter 20 by 20 and 6 380 millimeter 20 by 20. And then for the bed is going to be 2 405 millimeter and 2 240 millimeter. Says you can also use a smaller one of 140, don't know why, but 4 anchor connector universals, and then it's just a bunch of nuts and screws. And then of course I found another guy that made new parts that you can use that's like half the amount of screws, because they kind of like half just clip onto the 2020 and then you just put your 1 screw in it, so it's only doing single screw, but it's not just like press fit onto it, it's actually wrapping around and doing a better job. So that will be kind of cool. Oh, and of course that's why my filament thing is not running right. Come on, start the the overseer. Come on. That way I can get the video camera going right. Show multiples. That should work better. Alright, let's go to the overseer. There we go. Alright, bracket 5. There we go. Come on. Select it. Oh, the linear plus is not even on. Hold on. There we go. All right, plastic weight is about 40 grams per. So there you go. Sorry, it took so long to do that. So yeah, 40 grams per basically one of these. You need 9 of them, so it's actually 40.4 grams. So 363 grams. You can do almost 400 grams, so just a little under half a spool. And you could probably find, just due to what it is, you could probably just get like a $10 spool, so half of that. So you're spending $5 on printed parts and maybe 5, possibly $8 worth of panel board, and then a handful of screws. So what, that's 6, 12, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 screws-ish, if you do the same way. The 6 on the 2 sides and then the 4 on the front one. You might buy a box of screws for like $2 or so. We're looking at like 20, 25 bucks for a full framed modification partial enclosure. That's not bad. Alright, why is the linear plus not picking up? Probably need to adjust the camera there. There we go. Alright. She is heated up. Bed. Alright, let's get this thing a print and then we'll start something else. Alright, that's a going. Okay. Skip frames 5 minutes ago. Okay, that's not bad. Alright, here we go. It's already warmed up, ready to go, and it's off to the races. I need to fix that sound. That drives me nuts. And yes, just in case you were wondering what that first little bit was, it's actually my priming line. John, excellent question. So I have got Octoprint through a Raspberry Pi, a couple different versions, one on each of my printers. And then I have a virtual Pi on my desktop that's running actually a couple different things. So I've got it running a Arch Linux virtual for my filament manager database, so that all my printers report how much filament they're using, so that I can kind of keep track of it when I'm doing different projects. It's just because I like being informed that way. And then I've got one virtual Pi running what's called Overseer, which is what you're looking at now. This is actually the browser interface, so that I'm connecting through the API of each of the Octoprint instances, so that I can show multiple printers at a time. And it's really nice just because I can tell it, auto hide the inactive printers. If I tell it, okay, like the Tronxy, just don't even bother showing that one at all, mainly because it's down for maintenance, so I can make it inactive, period, not just, or a disabled printer, not just an idle printer, and then when I refresh, it'll just make it a blank spot. Super lightweight. I had to use the old version for live streaming because otherwise the newer version has a high enough hit on security that it won't let me show it up on the web screen. It just sits there for a login, so it gets a little irritating. And then the third instance that I'm actually running of a virtual Pi does a background speed test of my internet connection, and then puts it in a log, so then I can go to my ISP and give them proof that they suck and that they're not giving me what I'm paying for. So I would do it every half hour, but that's a little excessive. I think once an hour is not too bad. So yeah, I've already got to get after the current ISP, which I won't name names, but their initials start with AT&T. So I got to get with them again, even though I'm moving, to say, I've been paying for a 1 gig fiber, and you can't even give me 450 megs. I understand there's some people are able to get less and still, do a lot of stuff, but like I said, I'm paying for a lot, getting less than half, and even the less than half is not very stable. I don't know. It gets really irritating when you're supposed to even be getting 300 megabits, and a lot of times when you try to do any real usage, it's like I'm getting 10 to 15. And I'm on a fiber connection. This kind of thing shouldn't be happening. So I don't know. But when I move, I'm getting a 300 meg through coax, so it should work a lot better, more stable, but yeah. So anyway, now that my rant is done, yeah, so this print will be interesting because I don't have enough filament on the rest of the spool. I've got 2 more spools of it, but I don't have enough left on this spool to finish the job, so I am going to have to do a swap in, which is fine. I just wish I could get the filament runout optical sensor to work better, but I think I'm just going to switch to mechanical. It's a lot easier. Yeah, see, like I said, it all varies on the area, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to rub it in anybody's face that like, oh, poor pitiful me, you know, I'm only getting 450, you know, I'm just so the it comes more down to the fact of I am paying to get a 1 gigabit connection. They guaranteed me that I should be getting at an absolute minimum 650 megabits, even on a highly saturated day. They said that's how good their network is. But if you actually think about that, if I'm paying for a gig and they guarantee 650, means they're only guaranteeing that I can get 65% of the available bandwidth at like the worst case scenario. And they can't even do that. I can't even hit 450, so I'm getting less than 45% of what I'm paying for, and I could easily drop down and save money and max out at the 300 megabits, but now I'm moving, so it's, you know, I'm not going to try to fight all that. That's just too much work right now. I'll just get them to give me credit on my bill and move forward. But anyway. Well, the only reason I did the fiber is because, one, this neighborhood apartment complex that I'm in has kind of a contract with AT&T to provide fiber. The cable company here only can really do TV. They can't really do a lot with their internet side. Go figure. Because of the contracting that they've got. You know, exclusivity with AT&T. Blah 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 blah. But it was going to be down to I could either pay for 100 megabits with a data cap, and I work from home, so I'm on the computer doing all my work, um, or pay $20 extra more a month and just bump it up to 1,000 because they didn't have a 300 plan when I first signed. So 100, $20 more, 1,000 with no data cap. I mean, I was like, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. But I mean, every market and every area is different. Like AT&T can't even have fiber at my family's house that I'm going to. They're not allowed in that area because two other companies have kind of the monopoly of the area. So I can't even get it. But their service maxes out at 50 megabits, and their competitor that is about to put fiber in that area can easily do 300 megabits. So every area is a little different. You just kind of have to play the game. So, sweet. Thank you, honey. All right, let me turn off that fan. All right, let's see. What did I miss here? Do you have a virtual server to control several active parents at once? Yes, I do. It is Oracle VM VirtualBox. That's all I used. And it's a free application. I'm running it on my desktop, and then I put the same basic specs as a Raspberry Pi would have. So, and there's quite a few YouTube videos. I'm actually trying to develop a more condensed version of what I've done. But basically, it's you download Debian, which is a Raspbian type offshoot, which is actually, well, it's not an offshoot. It's more of the parent version that Raspbian kind of deviated off of. But it's using a Debian base for the other two, and then Arch Linux for the other one, which that was a beast to install. I've never seen one so hard. And even when I reached out to one of the main guys that did the guide, he was like, how come you can't figure it out? I figured it out easy. I'm like, come on. It is not like click, 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 and then you're done. You have to like do this research. I had to watch like 15 videos to figure out what I had to put in to make it stable. So that's why I keep making backups of that one because I don't want it to go down because that was crazy. But yeah, so once you have the Debian base installed, since it'll let you do a CD based push, because it's hard to get it to read the image in the virtual setting like that. But once you get that, then you can go to the Octoprint website and just go under their Linux page of doing the manual install steps, and it almost completely works just off of that. There are a few slight wording for the command issues that you'll run into between Raspbian version versus the Debian version, but not enough to be like detrimental. And they've got it on the page. It's pretty easy to just step through. But yeah, you could just do a complete virtual Pi set. The only problem you'll really run into is VirtualBox to USB to only using like one specific port so that it can control the printer. That's why I offloaded like the Overseer program that's super lightweight, doesn't really do much but access the API, and what I labeled basically is the ISP watchdog that does my speed test. They can run in a Pi environment, and they didn't really have too many craziness with their code, so Debian worked fine on the first shot, and I was pretty much up and running. So sorry if that was a really long answer. I apologize. All right, let's get some more. So I can print some of the small extrusions. So I'm going to print some of those. Why is my printer going, or file explorer going so slow? But yeah, anybody else got any questions? I don't mind answering them, apparently. Maybe a little bit long of an issue, or long of an answer, but you know. I love 3D printing. I'm getting the kids into it. Doing a full 3D printed printer. Make the Anet A8, you know, actually like worth it again. Which I can't slam them, to be honest. Mine, even though it was a clear acrylic frame, which a lot of people didn't have, I had actually like little to no issues with the printer. It finally actually got to the point of the frame cracked due to moving it from another state to where I'm at now. That's what really killed it, not really anything else. I was able to print fairly good quality with very little effort. I didn't do any real upgrades on it other than I put a MOSFET for the bed. I had played with a Bowden extruder with an E3D clone, and then I went back to a direct. But it was doing fairly good until I got, you know, my Delta, and then it was just like, oh, this is like hard to justify still printing with the A8 with just the huge quality difference. So I was like, well, I guess maybe I don't need to do the A8 anymore. And then, you know, conveniently right about that time, that's when the frame cracked. So I just kind of put it away, just kept moving it around the office and everything. Took it out of this enclosure that I had built for it, and then dropped in the E10 in its place. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I look good on the TV. But yeah, I know there's a lot of issues going around with their random and it's not all of them, but some having some random fire issues that they got to worry about. But a lot of that, honestly, is I attribute more to just bad firmware more than anything. Because if you had a lot of the safety precautions turned on, a lot of these issues, even with a thermistor falling out, which I still blame the end user for not checking the grub screws, you know, as a primary thing. But again, that's just my opinion. I think a lot of the issues are down to either user negligence, really and truly, because they're just not maintaining the printer, not checking screws, you know. And I'm not saying that you have to check all the time, but I mean, you should be doing it even on your driving vehicle, and nobody blames the manufacturer for, you know, little issues that happen along the way, you know. I mean, who's the first person that you would blame for a tire like falling off the car? Whoever last maintenance the tire, not the manufacturer, you know, for using shoddy bolts. It would first go to whoever the last maintenance guy that touched it. So there's some things that people could step up and take ownership of, but I'm not saying that's always the case. There are some major defects, but I think if the firmware was good, a lot of the safety issues would be solved. But that's just my opinion. Oh, nice. John, we've got a lot of the same types. So I don't have an Ender 3. I kind of want one, but I'm not like rushing out. Yeah, I've got the KLP. Mine is a CoreXY X5S original that then got upgraded. Well, it was what? Original version, I think 3 that came out that had the actual dual voltage heated bed. But then I upgraded it to the dual extruder version through Scott's store and Customized 3D. And personally, there was some shortcomings from factory parts, but all in all, I still think it was a very worth it upgrade because I got a 32-bit board, a touch screen, a second extruder to be able to do dual extrusion or dual color. I can't even talk right now. And then they were able to kind of fix the issue that they had and got an actual mixing heater block. So, I mean, and I was able to produce fantastic quality at incredibly high speeds through Scott's helps and his configuration. So I actually love it. Yeah, and Scott was instrumental in getting them to fix it. So it wasn't just CoreXY's side of it, but through Scott, yeah, we got it fixed. And right now it's just my OCD of like the only reason I'm not really using this pre-made Pet Fang block that, I mean, literally I can take the block or you know, the new dual extrusion, dual color heater block, you know, the Cyclops hot end. I can put all that in and go to town, except for the back has this weird lip, but then the hole mounts don't line up for the plate. So I've been kind of trying to do a version of it that will fit on this new plate. Hey, Bubba. And it's just taking me a lot longer because I'm not that great at Fusion. I'm learning. I'm getting better, but it's still just taking quite a while. What's up? Yeah, we're on your last one.
Yes.
And then that'll be the 4 corners. I know, we got 2 more boxes, Bubba.
I don't know if that can be enough to finish.
It's not going to be enough to finish. No, not at all.
We'd be like halfway there.
No, not even halfway there.
Do you have a phone that says that?
Yeah, it's right there.
No, I mean,
Oh, on the path? No. So I have a, he's giving me grief about it. I've got a filament runout optical switch, but it doesn't detect a lot of colors very well, even though it's an enclosed piece and the filament path lines right up with the sensor. It I don't know, I guess the laser is too good and it goes right through the filament, so it doesn't detect that I'm, you know, that I'm breaking it enough to, you know, detect that the filament is there and monitor so that when I pull it out that it sets it off. Whether the filament's in or not, it thinks it's tripped and it's not even there. So.
All right, say good night to Daddy.
Good night. Oh, you guys are going to bed? All right.
Right now?
All right. I know. All right. Go ahead.
You said you would let me know.
Honey, I'm on the live. You said hi. Wave hi. Wave hi. Say hi. Okay. All right. How about this? But next weekend is the last weekend that we're going to do one here. You want to join me for a little bit next weekend? Okay. We've got it on the calendar.
But you said you would let me know when I can go on there.
I know, but you were doing your kit and Mommy was doing with the other stuff, and then it was time for dinner, and like there's a lot of stuff going on. Honey, next weekend you can for real be on the stream for a little bit, okay? Okay. All right. And we'll show off whatever you want to show off. Okay? Does that work? You fine? All right. Night night, Bubba. Okay. Kiddos have left the building. Let's see. Also run a Pi 3B Plus with Octoprint on each printer. That's why I was wondering to get them all on one interface. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Yeah. That's the techie kid that I link over to him. We got to do some more videos of projects. They actually just got their Kiwi crate, and he got a glow-in-the-dark pendulum rider. So basically, like it's got a spindle in the middle. It's like a big square glow-in-the-dark board, and with a little pen. And as it kind of jumps around the page by spinning the double pendulum thing, it writes the cool circles and everything. So we're trying to get him into a lot of introduction into technical stuff, and you know, like the 3D printer we're building for him. He designs a lot of stuff in Tinkercad, so I want to give him his own dedicated machine to print and all that. So he's having fun. But yeah, with the so I've only got out of the four, which I've actually got 5 Pis, but out of the 4 that are connected to the printers, I've got 2 B pluses, a 3B plus, 1 regular 3B, and then 1 Pi 2B. 2B plus? It's the version 2 one. I don't remember exactly which one it is. Hey, that's cool. Glow-in-the-dark vinyl. We actually just got a vinyl cutter too, so that I might have to think of some cool ideas with that too. But yeah, like I said, this is doing a different web page interface, more for viewing. But you can here. Let me go to the main page. Oh, come on, refresh. Yeah, I've got an original Pi. It's kind of in between the printers hooked up that I'm testing something else with. Yeah, and then one of them's a 2. I can't remember which printer it is, but they all perform pretty well. All right, so I know it may not look very different, but this is the actual web interface. So when you're on the printer, you can actually click on one, and it'll highlight just that one. But what's also nice is you can like go here to the wrench, and you can actually like get more stats. You can adjust your feed rate, fan speeds. You can even pause the print, but it's got this nice little progress bar of what it projects that, you know, Octoprint is reporting for the time remaining versus that. You can adjust, you know, some temperatures and stuff. It shows it here down at the bottom corner of each one. And I know it's a little hard to see just with the refresh rate and everything, but the little blue bar that's right here at the top, right above the name, is that progress bar. So the blue is the full progress, and then the dark blue is its projected percentage of completion. And then you just single click it again, and it goes back to your main interface, so you can click on a different one. And if it's not turned on, then you get the offline. Well, excuse me. If it's not printing, you will get the offline. Like if it's an idle. If it's actually printing, then it'll even tell you. I know it's probably really small text right here, but let's see if it'll let me highlight. Yeah. So it actually says it's printing, and it counts down the time on the individual interface. So that I thought was really cool. And then like for the Tronxy, because of the dual extruder, it actually shows heater 1 or heater 0 and heater 1, even though it's only one cartridge. But Octoprint, it'll pull between the API. It'll actually pull it so you can see both. It's actually pretty neat. Okay, go ahead and close that. No, that's not what I want. I want a direct overseer web feed. There we go. Oh, that sucks. Well, thank you for resubbing. All right, let's get back on track. Okay, where's my slicer? Okay, there it is. I guess just come on. You know, even though you reboot your computer, it still just, sometimes it just acts like it doesn't even know that it's a computer. And it just wants to fight you, like, on everything. Let me see if I can do this. Alright, there's my chat. What's the other one? And then, what did it... Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it'll be on a poll there. There we go, just to kind of see what people think. I'm sure there's some more. That's the only ones that were like jumping out of my head there. I'm sure some people have more. Yeah, feel free to jump in on the poll. Just kind of seeing, you know, testing some of this stuff of Streamlabs. They actually added a really nice new giveaway section. So the next giveaway that we do, I'm definitely going to be looking at that. Looks like it's a lot more powerful than it used to be. So that is like huge, huge bonus. You have to do the question or exclamation vote and then the number. Yeah, I saw that after I started the poll that it was like, see, there's still some things that I need to verify and modify there. Yeah, what's up, Bubba? Love you. All right, so I'm going to get started on some of the shorter ones that I can do on that printer so that we can start catching up.
Can't wait for my last one.
Well, the last big one.
Last big one to be finished.
Yeah, but then I got to print a whole bunch of other ones.
Yeah. Gotta print like the back.
Well, no, see,
4
we've got these 4 500s are going to be done, but then I've got to do 4 420s, 2 405s, 6 380s that can only be printed on this one printer. But the 2 240s for the bed, I can print those on that printer.
Daddy,
Because no, this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I've still got to fix that one. Yes.
Tomorrow, can you print my radio vacuum?
Yeah, tomorrow we can start your Millennium Falcon.
Okay,
You're right.
but when you get a minute, it's time to play.
Okay.
Can I go?
9. Okay. Oh, and you can multi-vote. So if you're here and you want to vote on the thing, it's just exclamation vote and then the number from the piece. So far it's only registered, John, your vote 3 for the Cura. Right now that's the only vote in the system. So for just a minute, I'm gonna step away. I'll be right back. I'm gonna help get the kids kind of settled in bed, but let me, because this thing is going incredibly slow for some weird reason. I may have to throw a slice on a different printer or a different computer and then bring it back into here so we can get that other one going. But yeah, so I'll be right back. Please don't leave, but if you do, come back and I'll be back. Okay. Wow, only 2 people voted the whole time I was gone? Jeez. Alright, alright. We'll stop the poll. Yes. Like again, like I said, this is just kind of playing with some of the features that go with Streamlabs. I'm just trying to make it a little more entertaining, fun hangout, you know. So, where is... Because it's got a lot of stuff. Like, you can do betting. It's got access to mini games. Well, I mean, the vote wasn't really going anywhere. Like I said, it was just more to learn how the polling part works to begin with. But, yeah. Okay, so the chatbot still has the old giveaway. Huh. Okay. Did this... Alright, so it looks like I won't be able to really do any new model lookups to drop in slicers because apparently my computer wants to be retarded. Scott, that's up to you. If you want me to do that, we definitely can set that in. We can play around with my new and improved settings here. My pre-apologies. I got late dinner, so I may be snacking a bit. So I'll try to lift the camera so it's not like completely, you know, showing me be a crazy. All right. Oh, let's try to get this set up here. So this is for a 3D pen. We'll do it for... Come on. So we'll open it up for 10 minutes. Okay, so this would be a 3D pen. Ah, come on. Ah, man, I can't type. There we go. All right. Yeah. One of the 3 from last time doing it already. Okay, so yeah. It's a 3D pen. There we go. You need to mod Streamlabs in your chat. Oop. Didn't I do that? Okay, hold on, because apparently I didn't do this thing right. I don't know if you guys can hear the audio. Give me a second. 'Cause apparently I I never added in. I don't fully like the Predator. I mean, gosh, HE3D. Sorry. It's a decent printer. I mainly built it for this purpose so that I could print, 500 extrusion easily. Its build volume is letting me print by factory 600 with my mods about 615, about almost 620. So, and it was super easy to set up. I've already got a touch screen ready to put back on. I'm just getting a new casing figured out because I don't like this detachable case. I'm trying to do one single thing to make it, look all nice and pretty. But the overall, I like it. It's half the price of the Predator, I think. Because I think the Predator is like close to 800, and this HE3D K280 single extruder is listed at 350. And then through the shenanigans that they tried to pull, mine ended up being free, courtesy of PayPal. So I like it because of that too. Would I buy another one? Probably not. I would probably honestly save up more for a Predator. So, yeah. It's not bad, but yeah, I probably wouldn't do it again. But again, like I said, all you really need for, I mean, this is no mods, other than like I built a bottom casing piece to raise it up. Other than that, it's all cosmetic stuff. I haven't really done any frame bracing until just recently. And so without the true frame bracing, it barely has any Z wobble. I just had to slow it down a lot. So it's not bad, but obviously it needs some help. Sorry, almost there. Trying to watch this last little bit because they're using a different name to be a mod in the channel to do the giveaway. It's a 280 by 600 factory specs. That's it? Okay. Sean Gould. Isn't that how I do it? Sorry, they just made this change, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the new updated version of this giveaway on here. Oh, thank you for the sub there. how do I get back to... Okay, refresh the page. There we go. All right. No, Sean. These are actually for my kids. Anet A8 to Anet Evolution, which is a CoreXY based setup. It's for their printer. Okay, so I told it to start the giveaway, but I am not seeing... Did it not show anything? Okay, I'm a little confused now. Alright, well then we'll do this. Okay. We'll do it the old way because I apparently need to watch a video on how to do it this new way. So it'd be exclamation raffle. Currently is how to get into the this giveaway. That's what I last had set. So, but yeah, basically these are boxed with a European adapter that converts it down to 5 volts. We found an eBay link for a replacement adapter. It's only like $2, I think. Oh, okay. So interesting. Oh, okay. Nav. No, it doesn't. All right, I'm gonna close out the old one, because it didn't do it right. Yeah, refund all of it. Yeah, clear all the messages. Okay, so it's exclamation giveaway. Why is it all caps? See if that... Okay. Alright, so I got a couple people showing up. That's awesome. There we go. So it's under the new interface now. Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing figured out. We'll leave it run for the next 6 minutes. And then I guess depending on how many people enter and how many Scott wants to give away, we can possibly do multiples. Or just turn around and rerun another one. Who knows? For those that are already overseas, definitely we will basically send an email to Scott, and Scott, if you can post your email address that you want them to use. If you're overseas and you win, definitely contact Scott and we'll get it worked out. We may be able to do international shipping, kind of depends. So, but primarily it was for US based. Welcome, Kit. Are you trying to take advantage of it is currently printing at 35 millimeters a second. Scratch that. 35 millimeters in the slicer, dial turned down to 75%. So whatever that converts into. I didn't realize that I forgot that it doesn't reset it. Alright, so it's back up to 100%. So 35 millimeters is a second is what I'm printing it at. Just because I can let it print longer without having to worry about tower wobble quite so much. Yes. Mainly because the frame is not supported yet. Once I get the rest of this enclosure frame bracing done within the next 2 to 3 streams, just because of the move itself. But my plan is the 25th? Yeah. The stream on the 25th, I should have the framing done, and then we should be able to kick up the speed on it just in general a lot faster. If the print stays under 190, 200 millimeters tall, I can push it at about 80, 85 right now. If I go higher than that, then it starts getting a lot of tower wobble. So I print slower if I'm going to go taller than that. Yeah, definitely, Sean. That is eNotepad. This is the filament that I'm using. They had a Facebook special of buy one, do a review, get 2 free. So I took advantage of it to get my 3 boxes of filament, which is what I needed to do for this this kit. He wanted enough extrusions, and I kind of roughly measured it out, and it's like 2.5 or 2 1/4 boxes of filament to print out everything. And this is only the very, very first spool, and I printed a couple other things before that. So I'm pretty good with the sizing, and if anything else, because it's a printed frame anyway, then whatever other colors that I need to just to make it all work. But yeah, the infill is at 25% honeycomb on this. All right, we're down to the last 40 seconds of the giveaway, at least for this first version. Ain't no problem, Kit. Lurk away while you're working. That's kind of what I do during the day when I'm supposed to be, you know, doing my main job. It's hard not to work from home and still play with the printers when they're right behind you the whole day. Two, a 1, and timer is over. And we will pick the winner. I'm surprised it's not broadcasting any of this. Okay, it says on here, John. I don't want to butcher the middle name. Eric Santini, you are the winner. Congratulations, sir. I don't know why this isn't broadcasting it the way the old one did. Oh, it is. It's just not populating it right. Okay. Okay, how do I know? Need to make... Yes. There we go. Now it's a mod in the channel. Alright, so I don't know why it didn't do it, but here's a rebroadcast of what it was supposed to do. There we go, now I finally did it. Okay, so hopefully now that I made it the true mod that it's supposed to be, now maybe it'll actually broadcast if we do another one. Wow, that's not bad. Well, if anybody ever wants to print with a highlighter, you can get some of this. And it's a little hard to see, but yeah, this is like straight up highlighter yellow. It's a little, the camera probably doesn't do it justice, but it's from Pryline. And it is absolutely like the brightest color I think I've ever seen. And even their Pet G is really close. More translucent, but still very bright. Let me see if I can get this max main cam. There we go. Alright, yeah. Super, super bright. Can't wait to print with these. This is the colors that I have set aside for the Mark III clone that I want to do eventually, which I'll be able to save up a lot more easier once I move. So yeah, I've already set Pet G and the PLA to kind of co-balance between the two to get everything. Yeah, it does. It looks like a cross between Trimmerline and just the yellow school highlighters that we used to get, and just like it just went everywhere. To be honest, oh, you were talking to Sean. Never mind, Nav. But yeah, I personally have not done any Amazon Basics yet. Mainly just because I get so many samples, and the current filament that I've got, which Will be a new project here very, 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 very soon, provided that the delivery on Monday is good. I'll be able to do a new side project with these. It's the older, but I have one. Actually, technically, I have two. So I'm waiting on the power and hopefully a scroll wheel, because it is kind of the refurb stock. So I'm hoping that that will be here on Monday and I can get to cracking and start making some good stuff. Why? Yeah, you change the size of the chat box and it doesn't know how to work anymore. There we go. Buy me some coffee. Okay. 230 spools of pryline. Yes. That is what some people call an addiction. But no. Yeah, definitely a few benchies worth. Hey, think about if him and what's his name? Not Walter. Glenn from Fun King 3D. Think if they went together on these spools. The FK1 with 230 spools at its disposal. Man. Yes, I would agree with you, Kit. An addiction definitely would be Neary's, because I even asked him, what about selling some of your other printers? You know, not just to make room prior to you moving, but the fact of you don't have even enough house space to set up all 85 printers now and actually do anything with it. So but he said no, it would just cost too much. And I'm like, yeah, but some people might be willing to pay a little bit more to come, even though it's used, but to come from a person that actually knows how to properly set it up, calibrate it, and has been using it, and it works good. You know what I mean? Like, some people would be willing to do it. And he was just like, nope. It's like, okay. Yeah, he buys so much. But he also does very large-sized prints. You know what I mean? So I get it. True. You could also do that. Well, once I can get this dual extruder mixer brain debacle ironed out, where I can think straight and get it all reassembled and it prints, then yeah, I want to use the Tronxy to start printing some bigger stuff. That, and once I get done with the kids printer, then I want to get going on printing more stuff too. Yeah. 600 spools to fill the shelves. It's a lot of filament. Scott, in case you just missed it, but John sent you a question about the shipping to Norway. But I guess let me know if you want me to re-spin up this now that I fixed kind of the interface, hopefully. If we want to do another pen, by all means, just let me know. Hey, welcome, Andrew. Don't know how long you were lurking before you were talking. But yeah. I've got, what? 1, 2... In my drawer, I've only got like 2 unopened spools, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 like half or more used spools, and then I've got like 3 boxes of samples that I've collected over time, or, well, it's 2 boxes of samples, 1 box of all of the filament change like kickouts that, you know, I end up having like a broken piece, and then you do a filament change for whatever, or just a purge, and you can't do anything with it yet. So I've got like a box of that, which I'm really glad that I got this, the old Palette Plus. So now I'm going to try to make my own custom rainbow spool of stuff. That way it'll look nice. So I don't know how well that's going to pan out, but yeah. Ah, okay. Well, that'll work too, Andrew. You didn't necessarily have to change it. I mean, I don't put my real name on my thing. I just have Techie Dad, so, you know. But it's all good. Give them away all night. Okay, well, I guess let's resume for some more entries. So let's see if it's actually going to announce it. Hey, there we go. Streamlabs for the win. Yep, 4 viewers. I just put that default little thing in there, you know, about the, because it was the EU stock, so it already comes with the EU adapter. But it's just a voltage to 5-volt adapter, but it just has a barrel plug, so why? Hold on. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Well, like I said, it just needs what is it, the it's the 3. Scott, I can't remember it now. We looked it up, and now I can't remember what the barrel needed to be. But if you have the link to the eBay cable that we found, if you want to pop that in there, that's even better. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter. Okay. All right, there you go. $14 to get a pen shipped. I mean, really, I guess if need be, you could always just cut the cable that goes to the EU adapter just so it has the barrel plug side on it, and then find a way to tie the end of those wires into the actual what you call it, to that 5-volt adapter, because I think it's what, 5-volt 1 amp or 5-volt 2 amp. I can't remember right offhand. Let me see if the old giveaway thing. All right, so it's the everyone. There it is. And that's it. Is there a printer I feel is missing from my collection? Yes, a free one. I want to try a Mark III clone or a Prusa. I would like to at least try it and kind of see what the real hype is about. I mean, I know that they're, for a kit, I mean, they're one of the top rated, and you know, quality and a lot of other things. Yeah, true. Yeah, but that was from PayPal free. So, I mean, if a company just wanted to give me one free, then that would be even better. But no, but yeah, Prusa is one of those I want to try out, and for building a cloned version at half the cost, seems like a pretty awesome little like learning experience at the same time. The only other one that I really want to do, but it's more of a space issue that I have right now, is a hang printer. I wouldn't mind trying that out and like seeing it. I mean, I watched Chris Riley do his, and it looked awesome. I just don't have anywhere near the space. So I think that would be kind of cool to like almost build like an enclosure, you know, flip flop or flip over a table, kind of put a, you know, or use a table itself and kind of make it mimic like a mini room, and then put the hang printer in there, and then just kind of let it have the entire print volume be inside the table. I think that'd be kind of cool just to learn some of the other stuff. I mean, I've got a CoreXY. I'm building a CoreXY. I've got 2 different style deltas, a pulley wheel, and a linear rail. I've got the E10 Cartesian. I had the A8 Cartesian. So yeah, really, I think based off of the types of technology, I would say hang printer would probably be the next one that I'm interested in looking at doing. That and like I said, a Prusa clone. So a glass coffee table with a hang printer in it. That would be interesting, though. Based off of the cabling that I see that you would like need to use, I mean, your print volume for something like that would be less than probably 100 millimeters. Oh, true. Resin, well, but resin is no longer FDM. So I guess, yeah, I probably should have specified that. Out of the FDM branch, a hang printer would be kind of like my last little thing that I would want to do. Branching outside of that, yes, Scott, I would say that the resin printer that you got, that is very intriguing. And now having a house that I can like put it out in the garage, don't really have to worry about the kids necessarily accessing, and if I spill, it's just right there on the raw concrete floor, so that'd be easier to clean up and do stuff. That would be nice. We'll give this giveaway like another minute or two. Sean, yeah, you actually just stole the thunder from me. Yes, I am waiting and saving up already for the White Knight, or if another company makes a cloned version of it for a lot more affordable price, then yes, that would be kind of the next one as well. I'd actually prefer to do the belt printer before a hang printer. But I guess the only reason I didn't really include the belt printer in my original speech there was be more due to a belt printer is really and truly a Cartesian, like, coordinated type system. It's, well, but I mean, you would have to make the argument that Z is infinite and your print plane is at a 45-degree angle. So yeah, I guess technically speaking, that would be another on par level of Cartesian, CoreXY, Delta, hang printer. So yeah, I guess you would have to put belt printer up there. You're right. I heard that they're supposed to make the official announcement closer to the summertime. So I guess we'll see. Oh, John, you want to do it again? All right. All right, let's go ahead and close this entry set. Yeah, but it's Sean, the problem would be the build surface to go on the belt. I think is that, yeah, you don't necessarily need to do a duet, though the quality would be a lot better. You don't need to do a mosquito. You could, there's a lot of things that you could there you go. Yeah, I know you updated your name, but it was still registered in the original part because I didn't close it out. I just reopened, so it didn't like treat it as completely new. Yeah, true. All right, so Nav, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna complete that giveaway. All right, and then all right. So we'll start. Hey, Chris. There we go. Hey, Chris. Streamlabs is now doing something that was kind of cool with the whole giveaway thing. So I'm testing it out, and we're kind of giving away some stuff, some 3D pens. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit play on the wording on some of these, but you know, hey. Yeah, I like that it gives the feedback when it's actually like when you enter in. Though I don't think you'd be able to do it on your channel, Chris, because you have way too many people viewing at the same time doing the entries. I think I think Streamlabs might break if you tried to do that. Although you could test it and see if it does. Yeah, resin for me, and that's a well, resin for me is this on the same levels of printing with ABS. With having small kids in the house, it was a concern for me. You know, the little bit of ABS that I used was incredibly smelly. Not for the first minute or two that you were printing, but then shortly after, you could definitely smell it. I know not all ABSs smell, but just the fact that if it's giving off that much, you know, at that point in time, then I really have to consider, like, especially having younger kids running around. Now, once I get to my actual place where I can do hopefully something like Chris, you know, working out of a basement area or a garage area where I can do better general ventilation, you know, just for the space, not specifically to the printer, but just in the general workshopping area, then I would be more willing to like start using some more exotics, ABS, resin. You know what I mean? It just right now being in a little apartment makes it a little interesting to do. So, yeah. So we'll run this one for another 7 minutes. Let that. You know, I just realized that I'm still on just me. There we go. We'll put it back to the printer. Tony Ryan, welcome, sir. We'll raise that up. There we go. All right. Yeah, so we got a 3D pen EU stocked for US people because it's in US. Basically just paying shipping. And then you would need the 5-volt USB adapter for a 3.5 millimeter barrel plug. But I guess you could clip the end of the cable and mod your own if you wanted. But yeah, we got that going for another 6 minutes. Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. That's kind of why I haven't really been doing it. That's a good question there, Andrew. I mean, they make some flexible resins, or is that SLA? Right? I don't. To be honest, it's new enough for me. I don't know enough about the difference between them. Chris might be able to answer. He knows quite a bit more about these things. Yeah, that was Sean. I agree with you. That's kind of the main issue with the resin for me. I think the quality is just fantastic. But then again, I don't really have anything that I need that high of quality. It may just be like little trinkets or, rings, little stuff like that. But for what you would have to worry about with the alcohol wash and UV curing and possible smell, more of resin disposal, different things like that, yeah, be a little weary, but I mean, it's not going to scare me away from it per se. It just, I need to hold off till I'm in a little bit better area. Tried installing Pi-hole on my Pi 3 and messed it up. Updated firmware on my router, messed it up. Make me want to go run to the car to see if I can update. Tony. Oh, man. Not having a good night, are we? We got 3.5 minutes, and so far only 2 people entered. Okay, so is Pi-hole something completely different? I guess I've never looked up what Pi-hole was. Well, yeah, Jeff, right now it's about a 50-50 shot. Well, Carl, that is extrusion number 4, and I have 3 other 500 millimeter 3030R with that rounded corner. So I'm almost done getting the 4 corners to the kids' printer. Pi-hole is a DNS ad blocker. Oh, okay. Hey, Tony, have you ever thought of doing that in a virtual? I mean, I run virtual Arch Linux for the filament database. That's the Octoprint plugin that does the centralized database for all the filament, and then another virtual for the ISP hourly speed test and log, and then a third one that does the Overseer to do the API connection for the multicam, all the... Okay, if you want, shoot me an email and I'll send you everything that I got. Basically, it's just downloading... oh, what in the world is the name of it again? VirtualBox. And then using a very basic Debian based profile so that you can do basically it's the Raspbian version that you get on ISO and then load that into the system, and then you basically have a virtual Pi that you just don't have GPIOs. But yeah, that's what I'm running. The ISP watchdog that I'm running, Overseer. Arch Linux is a little bit different. but I mean it's still Linux in a virtual. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've actually got a Pi base with it all pre-installed, so that it's like the base level, just Core Debian Raspbian kind of mix in the virtual box environment. I can shoot you that whole okay, there we go, entries closed. I could shoot you that whole file if you want to just download that, and then you don't have to like waste the time setting up. And then once I have that Pi base, I just tell it to make a copy of it to build another virtual off of it, and then I do everything off that. That way my base one is always there. So if I have to start a new one, I've already got the hardest part completely done. Processing speed, you could push it better, faster, harder than a regular, Pi, just because you can add more memory, you can double the processor. But me, I like it just because if something goes wrong, I just delete it and start over. And it takes me like 2 minutes to do that versus, having to wipe the memory card, try to, make sure I got enough power to it, because it's virtual, it never has a power complaint. So a couple of different nice little things. All right, here we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And sorry, Jeff. Hey, look, Jeff won too. What does Docker do? I've heard a couple of different versions. Is that one that does the what was it that they push so that you can like take your print and broadcast it direct up to well, technically, Jeff. But yeah, to broadcast it directly up to YouTube. Is that the Docker that you're talking about? Do. Hey, Scott, if you can pop your email in there, and then that way I'm gonna edit the thing. 3D pen. Where is the pen link? I thought you just had it on there. Yeah, I think this is the pen. It's the Airy one. Yeah, this should be it. Yeah, I know it says it'll be out of stock on the screen, but it should be the right pen. Let me get that 3D pen. This is the 3D pen. Oh, I can't put that many characters in there. Okay. Winner, page shipping. And we'll need to purchase our adapter due to a advanced. Okay. It's pretty cool that I can like add new giveaways and have like multiple on my screen now. That's pretty neat. Oh, there we go. Yeah. There we go. Oh, okay, Sean. Okay. Kind of hoping it would just, I could just stash the plan beside my network switches. This extrusion will take about 20 hours. The first two was like 20 hours and 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere around there. And then the third one, because I didn't dial down the speed, ended up only taking like 19 hours and 57 minutes. But yeah, it's been going for about an hour 46. And let's see, what is my overseer? Yeah, I got stuff all over the bed on different ones. It's saying right now it's projected right at 20 hours in Octoprint, so you know it's going to be a little off. No, I'm only doing 25% honeycomb infill, but I'm printing it at only like 35 millimeters a second, so to compensate for the frame wobble higher up. Plus, I just think it gets a lot better quality right at the moment. Oh no, let me see if I can swap this over again real quick. That's main cam. So yeah, I mean, it's solid on the, of course, the top and bottom, but I mean, I don't know how well it's picking up the curve, but there's very, very, very little defect. Only at the very upper region. I don't know if I can get, but it is like 0.2 to 0.4 like millimeter like wobble or shimmy, but even then, like, I don't know if I can even get it to, yeah, see, there's only like 1 or 2, and this is the upper half of where it printed the 500 millimeter. So only in the upper like 100 to 200 millimeters I start getting that tower wobble, so that's why I slowed it down. But these came out personally beautiful. The whole bottom half looked just amazing. But I do wish it would have come out more like this one. Oh man, weirdly enough, the camera angle doesn't like do it justice, but those lines are only a color difference. It really, I mean, if you look at it in person and feel it, it is like, it's smooth. This is that rainbow, everyone rainbow filament that I had, the silk, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But yeah. And it's not much helping a guy build an Ender 3 on a video chat. Oh, okay, Scott. Well, Tony, I mean, you could possibly set it up. Like, I mean, Windows 7 is still able to get security updates until 2020. I think it's like April or May ish of 2020. If you have a Windows 7 that you can license and get running, you can tell it to just turn off all Windows updates, period, since they're about to get shut off, period, anyway. And then that way you don't have to worry about it ever rebooting or resetting your virtual core set. I mean, you could do that. Wonder how fast I could print one on my Artemis. Steven, I don't think Walter printed his solid either. But like I said, I'm only going this slow right now because of how it's a 600 mil only on a 2020 rail, or pulleys on a 2020 frame. If it was a 2040, like, you know, like what Walter has or what the Artemis has, I bet you it would be a hell of a lot better, and you could crank up the speed. But that's what I'm trying to do. The frame pillow blocks that I've been making. Once I get these all, what is it, 9, right? 3, 6, 7. Yeah. Once I get all 9 of them put on there, and then put the panels on there, the frame won't rock anymore. So then I'll be able to up the speed quite a lot, and that's what I want to do, is test it up. I wonder what the 100% would do. Would it be much stronger? I might try to print a Delta kit, make any cubic linear, and replace with printed extrusions. Well, hell, you can actually, there's the files for the frame couplers for the angle, the corner brackets. They have those on Thingiverse already. The extrusions are already on Thingiverse. Both the tall and the short, which would be your top and bottom. And then you just have your extrusions. Really, the only thing you would need to buy is 3 sets of belts, your linear rails if you want to do it that way, your effector, hot end, arms, the motors, you know, main board, all the main electronic stuff. But you wouldn't need to like buy a printer and then start swapping it out. Hell, I would just buy all the, well, unless it just came out cheaper. You could just buy all the mechanical parts and then print everything for your frame already. I mean, all of it's there. Ah, gotcha, Tony. Really? No Apple at all? Hell, my 2 PCs, the one we're on now and then my desktop, are the only non-Apple, well, besides the printers, non-Apple devices here. I mean, I've got iPhones, iPads, Apple TVs. The only thing really is the routers and Asus. I mean, well, that, and I've got a couple of Echo devices around the house. You can grab that printer for like 200. Yeah, very true. Getting confused on which keyboard and mouse to use. For what? How to go about getting my pen? How much is shipping? Jeff, sorry, I just saw your note. Let me paste Scott's email. If it's not still there. Nope, that's not the right thing. Yeah, Kit posted it a little while ago, so there it is. All right, let me repaste that in there. Oh, you already did? Okay. He should get back with you soon. He's apparently helping somebody over video chat get a Ender 3 going. Let's see. Nope, never had an Apple, and since they don't have Motorola processors. Oh, well. To each their own. Jeff, are you stateside? You're in the U.S., right? RCCNC, welcome. Keep grabbing the Pi keyboard to type in the chat. Oh, well, don't do that, Tony. Indiana, okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Scott says about less than $8. Should be. I personally cannot stand Android. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I mean, my work phone is Android, and I absolutely hate it. My virtual Clash of Clans runs off of Android, and that's only because I could virtualize it. I hate it. Their app market, I hate it. Samsung phone that the Android is on, I hate it. I really do. I've got this thing set even in the Google Play market, and I know Android, Google Play, it's not the exact same thing, but still, the Google Play market has been set, and it's set everywhere in this Android OS to automatically download and update anytime that there's an official update that comes down. And every single time, I still have to click on update. I mean, it's irritating as hell. At least with my iPhone, I told it to automatically update, and every time I get ready to go to bed, I'll have it plugged in, ready to like go to bed, pick it up for just a second, and then I'll see all the different apps like going gray because they're already background downloading the update and installing it for me. And I'm like, I've never had any issues. But that's not to say I like all of Apple's systems as well, because I don't. There's still a lot of issues, and a lot of it is just because I grew up only using a Windows system. My time in the Army was all on Windows-based systems. So, I've kind of got more of a preference for that side of things, but there's a lot of things that Apple did really, really well when we had our MacBook. And I even have my Apple router still in the closet with the last backup. And that part has worked great. I like some of the apps that they use, like the Lightroom that my wife uses. I mean, that program was awesome. Trying to find the same comparable program in Windows that doesn't like cost $5,000 is just ridiculous. I mean, trying to cross over, I know it's Adobe Lightroom and you can just do the Adobe Windows version, but before they released it on the Windows side, and it was strictly on the Mac side of things, was when we bought it. It was like, what, 6-8 years ago? Even back then, trying to find something else other than that was Windows compatible was just going to break me financially. Apple did a really good job on that part. But it may be just my personal experience. I don't know. I guess I'm more of a simple phone guy because I really remember and preferred when phones called people, and that's all they did. I never had a drop call when all they could do was call. Like before they could even really text. I mean, I never had a drop call ever, no matter where I was. Even in my beginning days in the Army, trekking through a lot of the wood space, you know, and the different field exercises that I would go on, never had a drop call. Now, hell, right now, I can't even call on my phone inside my apartment without being on my Wi-Fi. If I don't have it on the Wi-Fi, I'm not getting a call because the cell tower apparently just doesn't work around here. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's pretty funny, Scott. Well, you know, what's his name? Joe Telling, the 3D printing nerd, used to work for Adobe as well. I think it was After Effects. He was part of the After Effects team, if I remember right. He did that for a lot of years till he came to being a full-time YouTuber, which I'm sure that was scary as hell too. Trying to make sure if you're gonna make enough money. Don't see why not. You should be able to stream from the Pi. I mean, it's just a lower end processor, video processing, main processor. So yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Yes. Does the YouTube Creator Studio work with the Pi browser? To be honest, I don't know. I've never tried that. I don't even, on my virtual Pis, I didn't even install the desktop. Plus, I run them headless. I just tell it, you know, since everything is already scheduled to automatically start up and launch. So I just right-click it in the virtual and say start headless, and then I just go on with my day. So that's a good question, though. Ooh, NC Retro board. Well, if you were on probably about 20 minutes ago, you might have caught Chris Riley. He'd be pretty good about that one. I've never used an NC board or an NC Retro board, so I unfortunately wouldn't be able to give you any hints on that one. Are you getting any specific errors? Hey, Tony, let me know, man. If that works, that's pretty cool. Hell, I may have to try it. I may have to tell it to just install one of the desktop modes on here. So y'all aren't warning me. I keep forgetting that I'm not turning back on printer view so you can see a print job going. It's timing out. Offhand, and I'm sure you've probably already done it, but I would say double check, make sure there's no slicers running that could have grabbed the USB port. If that isn't doing it, if you have a shorter USB cable, I would also try that. If that cable has worked on everything but this one, or it's worked on this one but just not right now, the other thing that jumps out at me is it could be that board with any of the previous tries that you've done. It may have damaged the bootloader, so it's not registering that it basically has a bootloader on it, so you may have to do that part first. Let's see what else. The talking upload baud rate within Arduino IDE may be too high. You may have to look at changing the default connection baud rate, which is in a special like hidden configuration file change that you would have to do. I heard about it before. I've never personally had to do it, but I'm sure there's a Google, YouTube search could probably help you find that setting. I guess it would depend on what kind of webcam. Whether you have the Pi cam or a standard USB webcam. I mean, all of mine, I didn't have to do anything driver-wise for Octoprint. It just auto-detected all of them. So, possibly. Scott, you want to do one more pen before we go? I mean, I know it's 9:30, but I mean, you know, one or two more 10-minute timers before we start wrapping it up. Best webcam now. Okay. Then does it for my go-to board was the Gen L. So far, I'm liking my Gen L. I like the fact that I've also got a touch screen on it. I'm just trying to make sure that it all works, and I got a good case because I can't do 100% replacement with some of the firmware options that I've tried on it. It doesn't work on the touch screen solely. I still have to have the old screen, so now I'm trying to print out a double. Okay, so I got the go ahead, so we will set up for another one. Bam. There we go. Yeah, RC, I found out the hard way on my factory Tronxy board. I had uploaded or attempted to upload for like 5-6 days. Couldn't get it working. Couldn't figure anything out. And then Scott gave me his USB only cable upload. We did it, worked out some of the kinks, and then it was working great. And then all of a sudden... Yeah, Tony. And then all of a sudden, like, I went to upload another time, and then it was just like timeout, 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 and it like I couldn't figure out what in the world was going on. Come to find out, with all the changes that I had been doing, it never had a bootloader on it because they'd like just straight push the config without the bootloader, which you can do. But because they did it with as many changes I did, it never... Yeah, Tony, you misspelled that. It never took the firmware update correctly, and then that last time it bricked it until I got a USB ASAP programmer, put the bootloader back on, and then it was no issues after that. It took every configuration. And then I got... The board is in the drawer for the kids printer now, because I put that in the... I got the dual extruder 32-bit board upgrade for the X5S. So that's why I was thinking it might have been a bootloader issue, that what you're getting. Let me pull one for you. Huh. I can't honestly say that when I used yours way back that I had any thermal issues, but then again, shortly after, I upgraded all the way to Marlin 2.0, so, I mean... Yeah, you could definitely just use your own with Uno. Very, very true. Ba, ba, ba. There's quite a few different ones, and I don't see the specific one that I had, though most are all the same. Let's see. Ooh, this one's got the little upgraded pins that I didn't get, and it's a prime, so I guess I had the generation before this one that didn't have the selector voltage pins. But yeah, you could try that one. Yeah. So Scott sent me his USB ASAP, or ASP, however you want to say it, and I used his, burned the bootloader on it, got mine back up, and then shipped it off. And then I turned around and bought my own, and then I printed a glow-in-the-dark little case shroud over it. And then just to protect the wiring, all I did was take the 6-pin, or the 10-pin to 6-pin adapter, and then I just wrapped it with electrical tape over the circuit board, because all of the printed like slide-on cases, you would basically have to take the 6-pin adapter piece and like break it off of the board to put this case on and then shove it back. I was like, that's too much work. We just put electrical tape around it just to protect the pins from accidentally touching something that they weren't supposed to. So it is a little bit on the expensive side for really only having to use it once, but now that I have it, I have that, you know, safety net of if I brick any of these bootloaders, pop that right back on and just fix it. So I don't have to like stress about, oh, I don't know if this is going to do any harm. You know, that would be pretty awesome to include in like a 3D printer's kit. Like if you were giving away, you know, a kit that had, you know, calipers, they don't have to be like the high end, but you know, if you were doing that, the scrapers, some of the other, you know, a cutting mat, excuse me, a deburring tool. If you were doing one of those kits, that would be awesome if they could include like a USB ASAP programmer in it. Like to be like, hey, this is how you can really fix all the different really, you know, major aspects of your printers. That'd be pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's right, Scott. You do have that one with the Uno. I forgot about that one. Was there since I had already had my stuff done for so long now. Andrew, actually, personally, and this is what I've done on all my printers now. I set 0 offset. I do not use a piece of paper, business card, sticky note. I don't use any of that. I used to like, I needed to have, you know, a specific spacer. No, I level Z, you know, Z to 0, and I touch the nozzle to the bed, literally. As soon as it taps, you know, and I've even gone with Octoprint to move it up the 0.1, get it close so that when I hit back to 0, it taps the bed, like the nozzle taps the bed. Not with force, but like just touches. That's what I use as my set, because then I don't have to try to calculate, oh, well, my Z offset for 0 is actually going to be negative point whatever because of this paper that I use. I don't try to mess with any of that. And honestly, by doing it that way, when you tell it that there is no offset or your level is literally touching the build plate, then when you say, I want a 0.2 layer height, it literally is at 0.2. You know what I mean? It's not, well, it was 0.2, but because you had to figure in all the Z offset and, you know, your paper and make sure that you got it, and then you got to adjust the baby stepping to get it homed in even better. It's like too many extra steps for me. But those that have probes, that's a little bit different. You do have to kind of play with the Z offset and baby stepping to get it right. Just because the probes are always going to be just a little off. But once you have that, personally, by doing it by the touching method, I've been able to get it faster, and I've had to level less often. This big K280, I haven't leveled it since I did the last major firmware update, and that was like 3 months ago. That was the last time I did it. I've done, I don't know how many prints on this thing, and I haven't done anything else. Yeah. Once you get the habit of what the Z offset is, how to find it, how to calibrate for it, it gets a lot easier. Deltas are, they depend on your Z offset. If you don't have that, if you don't understand the concept behind it, then your delta will never work right. But once you get it, like neither one of these two delta printers, I haven't had to re-level them in months. Like the only time I ever do it is when the newest version or the newest compile of Marlin 2.0 comes out. They said they fixed something else. Then I'll redo my configs under the newest version to make sure there's any wording changes or whatever works. Upload that, redo my leveling process, which only takes like 5 minutes now. Do that, and then I'm locked in until the next major change. All right, so let's pick a winner here. Bam. Pop it up there. There you go. Tony Ryan, good job. Well, Steven, if I wasn't trying out some of the newer firmwares constantly, just to try to push the envelope and see what kind of new cool stuff is out there, then yeah, I wouldn't have to re-level anymore anyway. Oh, hiccups. You lower the bed fully, and that helps it to always home to the same spot each time I start a print. Andrew, what kind of printer? Yeah, there goes the last of that part of the filament. Empty spool. Guess I better crack open one of these other boxes. Not too bad. Printing for over 2 hours on the last little bit of the one spool. It's not too bad at all. Oh. CNC head gunner, but I did swap the board so I could use CNC JF. Well, welcome, Carl. But yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Sorry, my internet has been going quite nuts over here this last little bit. I think AT&T is like really trying to test my patience before I move. All right. Okay, let's see. Use a spools order 3 more. That way it didn't run low. Yeah. Take it down after writing. Let it get a lot closer, and then I'll just pop the pin and have it unload the filament, and then load this new one, and then just continue on. All right. Well, sorry, Steven. But yeah, you can send them an email. But I am liking this newer giveaway interface. It's pretty cool, and it lets me save this one. So anytime I want to do it again, we can do that. Sweet. And it'll let you pick multiple winners out of it. That's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, like I said, this is mainly just catching up on the kids printer. We got a lot that we got to print, or I have a lot I have to print. I need to get some more of these braces done, so I can try to see if I can start printing faster. Aw, that sucks, Tony. Yeah, I know, right, Scott? Well, next time, Scott, just give me a number total that you want to do on another stream, and then I'll just divide up the time and get that many winners for you. Or if you want to tell me a certain day that you want to make it like a super pen giveaway day, we can do a stream on that. Whatever. Too bad you're not closer. You could print most of it in a single sitting. Yeah, true, Scott. Yeah, I'll let Scott explain that story because, well, yeah, but I don't want to like over giveaway and then, you know, with the people that are winning, you know, then we run out. I didn't keep track of how many numbers you had left. So that's what I was saying, you know, if you had like a certain number that you want me to use per stream, or if you want to do like a super giveaway stream, or if you want to do, I'll show you how to set up all of the Streamlabs, and then we can do one of your first ones, to be a super giveaway stream. That way you can generate, you know, your base that much quicker on your new channel. We can do that. When are you gonna give away a CoreXY? Yeah, Scott. When do you want to give one of those? And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, doing a filament unload. So I'm gonna swap out to the new roll. I had to update the distance on that. Not quite long enough. See if that detects like it's supposed to. Alrighty, there we go. Filament change. Good to go. Let's see. Oh, my mouse died. Gave the security guard at my office a printer. I was interested in number. Nice. Chili peppers again. Kit, I like your idea. That's pretty awesome. Chili pepper. Oh man, I guess I missed a bit. All right, there we go. CoreXY A8 night. Rotated with monoprice many. Yes, I would agree with you, Andrew. That printer is awesome. Of course, I didn't get any of the maker coins from it while at Murph because I didn't want to be like the one jackass that walked up and just goes "Hi-ya!" right off the bed. And then every time I went by, there was none in the baskets. So I was like, man, well, maybe next year I can get one. Of course, it was my first year anyway, but yeah, maybe next year. It's all right. Yep, definitely hit. Oh, that's right. It's that time again. Okay, let me complete. Go back to edit mode. There we go. All right. Yeah, I know. Stop crying. Okay, so it's that time. We're ending the stream. So I am going to show. This is my updated under 1,000 subs page. Let it refresh and update. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to be part of my community board, send an email, please. Link should be flashing on this little bar here every now and then, but basically it's just techiedad@gmail. Make sure you include your YouTube channel name that you want on there, or a link to get me to it somewhere, because that's why I've got to put it in the coding and get it working. If you can, please make sure that it is a 3D printing channel related content. If you only have like video games, please don't submit your channel. This is like to just bring awareness to other 3D printing channeled people, so that we can kind of just let everybody see where they sit and yeah, see kind of how things are going and, you know, get kind of the word out there. Yeah, doing not too bad, Scott. And then for those that care, these are some a lot of these people are people that well, everybody on this list I already follow, but these are the top people that have submitted their names to be on here. And then here are the over 1,000. So as you see, it's a lot shorter list, but there are people on here. Again, if you know anybody that you would like to include on there, shoot me an email and I will reach out to them and, you know, we'll put that up there. Yeah, Kit, hey, it's not a problem. Some people just want to subscribe. I mean, you can always subscribe even if you don't have content, but that already gets you kind of on there, you know. Hey, Knack, as soon as I see anybody that's already on the standard YouTube list that crosses the 1,000, they're going to go over. And then depending on how much goes on this page, I may actually break it up of 1,000 plus and then a 5,000 plus, you know, just to help keep the page from going crazy. But right now, I mean, that would only knock Chris and Shane over into that other page. So I don't see really a point in it quite yet, but already built a touch screen, streaming camera, what is it? What expected more? Oh, under 1,000. Yeah. Yep. stream prints in progress. I do want to add code, just need to get the office cleaned up a bit more first. Hey, Kit, as you see, I mean, this is where I'm sitting is where I sit my butt practically all day long, every day, doing my work from home, remoting in, doing all my IT work stuff. And then right behind me, literally, I mean, this is my room. My printers, all my mess all over the table. So, don't like so much worry about that. You know, getting the office cleaned up. Hell, you could actually even do what I was thinking of is documenting my move of packing up the office and setting it up at the new location, just to kind of get a compare of the layout. And kind of, if you guys actually saw my desk, that's thankfully out of camera, it is horrendous. I've got stuff everywhere, and if you see any of my past streams, I can't find stuff that I set on my desk half the time. But yeah, my workbench gets demolished like on a daily as well. And what's out of camera is more stuff under this E10 that's demolished too. So, you know, don't worry so much about, you know, it being cleaned up if you just provide either like I'm doing a hangout or information. I mean, I've been saying for almost the last year now that, yeah, I'm definitely trying to do that. Well, the planning phase, Andrew, is more of it's a room area that I can somewhat dedicate to this. But we're moving in with family to save up money so that, I mean, this apartment rent is just killing me. But so we can save up to get our own house, and then I actually have a dedicated space. So it would be like planning phase 1, temporary, phase 2, permanent kind of a thing. But yeah, either way, I'm going to kind of record a lot of it. Just to really have content and kind of share my experience, you know? Yeah. Scott's doing an amazing office. I wish I had that much space. And eventually I will. Just don't have it yet. So yeah. Started up with a new office in the planning phase. Yeah. Andrew, Scott has done a lot. I saw the pictures of him like doing the initial planning, some of the drywall part. I mean, and he's put it on social media as well, but I mean, seeing the progress that he made, man, it made me jealous. It really did, because I just got this little room for now. It'll be about the same size at the other place I'm going to be at, but then hopefully when I get my actual house, like almost the entire garage, aside from the car half, would be mine, which I don't know if we're going to do a smaller garage with no car or not, because I've never really had my car in a garage ever. I mean, I'm not that really into everything looking super pristine, so as long as it drives. Yeah, 25 by 25 office is awesome. Building a different printer table setup. Andrew, I would suggest, personally, if you find anything that's like, it's hard to get in camera. Let me see if I can turn that there. Okay, yeah, see, my desk is horrible. So I have these cabinets that I salvaged from my old office in Dallas. That it's just a 2-drawer legal file system. And I put all my filament in that bottom drawer right there. And then all the kids' printer parts are all up in the other, like with all my spares, everything I put in there. And then I got another one on this other side that I do like all my general PC spares. And then all of my, like the items that I would do for giveaways or just general 3D printer spare parts. You know what I mean? Like a cabinet like that works great because it holds the weight of the printer without rocking. and it gives you storage space all at the same time. I mean, so anything like that would be fantastic. Because like here, I just have, it's just a small dinner table from IKEA, and then I've got crap all underneath it, and like it sucks because I got so much crap underneath it and no real drawers to put it in. So, oh, sorry. There we go. Okay, we'll try that again. So there we go. Drawer set. There's all my filament all in there, and then I got my Alien 3D subscription box and another thing of filament. So yeah, these things are great, and I got, you know, custom built enclosure for all the main board to pull it down away from the heat. Did it on both deltas. This one is still exposed while I'm getting a new faceplate. But then like under this IKEA just dinner table, that's what I mean. I got crap everywhere. And that's what I'm trying to get like taken care of, you know? And then of course I have IKEA lac table that I cut the leg in half so to be shorter, but I put all the electronics underneath. And I did the same thing on the E10, so all the electronics are under there instead of in that half case, so I could add a second power supply for the bed and some of the other stuff. And then, of course, my magnetic tool holders and then the MC hammer up there. So, yeah. See, there's the other lac table with the E10 in it. Not even powered on right now. But yeah. All my different hobbies run over each other, so that others, car parts, 3D printed products, gun parts, I'm not sure stuff. Target has a really good selection of the, was it Sterilite stackable like mini drawers, so you can get those little pull-out drawers. Get a couple of those, stack them up. Don't get the real wide ones because then you're too tempted to overstuff them, but get the smaller like desk ones that are like, you know, 8, 10, 12 inches width, you know what I mean? Like just those little ones. And then just we can try. Let me see if I can get my Google, was it Google Hangout, right? Oh, I didn't show you my desk that's like right below the frame. Yeah, this, I got crap everywhere. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. If you just get the little ones and then that kind of forces you to compact it. I actually salvaged, let me get it unburied here. I actually salvaged one of these cases that, I mean, it's just these little plastic trays, but it can go, it was actually supposed to be vertical. It was like at a doctor's office that was like just throwing crap away. And then I mean, I've got all my extruder parts, the heater, extra heaters and stuff, extra little switches, all my little mini Dremel tools, and then extra Bowden tubes. So, I mean, even something like that, and I just set that right under the printer. So I've got a little mini storage thing. I've got that IKEA little tool case that used to have a bunch of screws for around the house, and I already used them all, so I just kept the case. And I mean, I try to do a little bit of organization, but it doesn't always work. I just want, I just want Hangout, man. I don't want the stupid. There we go. All right. Video call. Come on. Are you going to do it? Let's see if this works. Oh, where is your email there, Scott? I got it. It apparently cleared it out on here. Man, you way up there. All right, there we go. There you go. I don't know why it didn't like look at you the first time. All right, let's see if this works. I guess now, while we're waiting, a good side note, if you would like to support the channel, I've got multiple ways. It goes in the chat oh, it's over there. But yeah, that link with the PayPal, you can send it direct that way. You can use the Streamlabs link. You can do the Buy Me a Coffee. You could even, if you wanted to, you could do Patreon. I hope I got it all set up right. I know Chris is on there. I mean, even something even as small as like $1 a month, if you wanted to do that. I mean, obviously the funds are going to go, there you go, into the ticker over there. Because I just kind of like doing this as a hobby. So any influx, donations, whatever, any of that stuff all goes literally for the channel to push it forward. And that's it. But by all means, you don't need to do any of that. If nothing else, if you want to support the channel but not monetarily, just shoot my name out around. That's fine. I wanted to make kind of a fun place. Oh, into your other Gmail? Okay. Well, then let me take that part off. Put it back on this one for now. But yeah, if you want to support even just by broadcasting the game, like I said, I just wanted to kind of make this a nice place to just kind of hang out and share our experiences, get to know other people, what they do. So, you know, nothing special. I don't have like desires to conquer the world. I doubt I'll ever make a I doubt I will ever make a YouTube paycheck. No way. Fighting with it. Come on, Scott. Threaten that you will wipe and reload the system, and then it'll probably scare the system to actually work right.